A very good morning to you, crafty lot. It is Monday, the 6th of July. I can't believe we're almost halfway through the summer already. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make this lovely double row spiral. I really love this stitch because it creates a fabric-like texture with beads. We're going to do one row and then we're going to come back and attach the other row, and I will show you how to do the ends. How's everybody today? I had a little bit of a late night last night. Christopher unfortunately was sick in the middle of the night, so we had to stay up with him, bless him, and a little bit tired today, but hey ho, we're just gonna power through. Coffee is gonna be my best friend today, I guess. So, there is so many, we got some offers on the website, there is so many different colors this is available. A morning chef, a morning dye, Sharon, Brenda, Linda, Debbie, Karen, Lucy, Edward. Lucy's saying, I can't believe it's Monday again. Good morning, Janet, Helen, Molly. Let me just... Dean, good morning, Dean, Annie, Camille. Camille's saying, good morning, Kitty. Hope you had a good weekend. Yes, it was good, apart from last night when we were up half the night, but never mind. Morning, Carol, Irene, Dee, Brenda, and saying, morning, Kitty, Sharon, everyone. Sat watching in my Morth home in Conishborough. I hope I said that right. Morning, Hayes, Carol, Pamela, Alison, LJ. LJ saying, oh no, hope he's feeling better. Well, he is just curled up on the sofa with a blankie at the moment and watching some TV. Bless him. But he's going to be all right. He felt all much better this morning, but I just wanted him to stay home today just to be sure. Good morning, Francis, Linda, Doris, Karen, Lorna, Sarah, Joe. Oh, there is so many. Good morning, Leanne, Adelina, Maxine, saying morning, Kitty. Hope Christopher is better soon. Me too. Morning, Linda, Jensen. So many of you lovely ladies here. Right, let's have a look at these colors. I'm going to show you on the website. So on our website, totallybeads.co.uk, on the either on the left hand side or at the top where the categories, if you click on that, there's a category called Facebook tutorials. If you go in there, that's today's ones. And going back, Sarah did the wire bangles yesterday with the sparkle rose necklace Saturday. You can go back and check them all out. There is plenty of them there. We've been doing this. This is the 16th week now. So there's so much to get on with. Now, what we did today, the bracelets are $6.99 separately. So that doesn't include your thread and your needle. So you can add it as an extra, or if you got thread already at home, then you just gonna get the beads. The PDF is there, that's $2.99 today. It's quite a few pages, so it's like really drawn out and really nice together. If you want, you can get that. Right, there is many different colors, because as you can see, this was one of those projects where I could not help myself but to create loads and loads of different colors, just to sort of play with the colors. I really enjoyed it. Right, so the offer we go on today is on the bundle. The bundle contains 7 different color in a mix. It should be £50, but it's £34.99. So if you want, you can check the ad. It's really, the bundle does come with the instructions themselves, and the kids comes with the instructions as well. So the bundle is really great to get, especially not just because it's an offer, but you're gonna make 7 bracelets there, so you can really learn the stitch, practice the stitch, perfect the stitch, and then you're gonna make 4 perfect bracelets. So that's really great one to have. So the colors we have, this is the caramel. This is really nice, sort of a browny beigey colorway. Then we have the champagne. I love this one. It's like a little bit of a salmon pink in there with the seed beads. Again, a very sort of a soft beigey color. We have the dark blue. This is like a royal blue. I love this one as well. I've got one of these for myself in my jewelry box. Then we have the green. It's like a tealy colorway. I love this one as well. Look how sparkly are they. And we have the lavender. The lavender again is one of my other favorites. It contains these tanzanite seed beads, and I think they just look really perfect and complement each other. We have pink, quite nice, not too bright, more like a baby pink. And then we have the purple. I love this one as well. This is sort of like a twilighty color. The crystal's got like a tiny hint of blue on there, but the seed beads are quite dark, and this really nice purple color pearls are going through it. We also have the silver. The silver is a really nice, you know, with the half silver crystals. It's not white pearls, they just got a hint of silver in there. Again, really nice, will go with anything in your wardrobe. The silver grey I haven't got here, but I can show you the beads themselves. So the silver grey is a darker, using the hematite beads and hematite crystals and greyish pearls. And the teal I showed you. I think I didn't show the light aqua. That's a really nice color as well. And that's it. I think the only other one I haven't got here is the olive, which is using sort of an olivey color seed beads and olive pearls, and this really nice, it's called Olive Garden crystals. It becomes really nice to do. Right, then Diane is saying we are spoiled for choice. Good morning, Ruth. Diana saying, sorry I missed the beginning. So I'll be making these double row flat spiral. Do let me know which color you can see the best, so I can demo with that one. I got most of them here right next to me, the little kits, so we can just start making. Which color can you see the best? Do let me know, because I you know, I'm drawn to the midnight or this one, but I think this will be like, you know, too dark to do them. So do let me know which color you can see the best. Marie's saying I like the olive. Let me just bring back the olive. Will that show up nice and easy? Can you see the olive nice and easy? Shall we do the olive or silver grey, since we haven't got those samples here? Which one will show better? The silver grey, I think it's quite dark, or the olive? There's some people saying the pink, blue or green. Why not the olive? Pink or olive? So I think we're going to go olive. Everybody's saying the olive, so let's go with the olive. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. So in your kit, you're going to get your seed beads, you're going to get your pearls, and you're going to get your crystals as well. And I'm just going to grab a thread and very quickly thread my needle. Now the thread I'm using for this is Supalon size D, so this is the stronger one, the thicker one. Come on, needle, this is a brand new needle. I managed to find one amongst all the bendy ones. So I'm going to use a couple of arm span of thread to start with. I double it over, and then I can move my needle down in the position as I need to. This is done by two separate sort of lines, and I just quickly want to show you before we start the single flat spiral. So we did a couple of versions of these ones. These are just sort of single bond lines going all the way through. We did a crystally version, and we did one with miracle beads. They both look better. Probably this one is more a beginner's one, because you're using larger seed beads, and the clasp is a magnetic clasp on there. It's only, you have to, you attach it in a single point. The crystal one is probably a little bit more advanced, because you got a 2-loop clasp with it, and it's a bit more to go through at the end. But I think we did this one as a Facebook Live not too long ago. So that's I just wanted to show you the single one. So when we start our double row, we're gonna actually start it as a single row and do a length of our beading. Just pop those to the side. Just get my little scoop here so I can pull them nice and tidy so they're not all over the place, the naughty bees. They do jump everywhere, but I suppose after the night we had, I'm gonna have the oopsies all day. I'm gonna, oh, not oopsies, dropsies all day. I'm gonna be dropping everything, but never mind. Might have a little nap later on this afternoon. So the pearls we are using are 6mm, the crystals we are using is 4mm, and the seed beads we are using is size 11. You're going to start off by picking up 2 pearls and take them all the way down on your thread. Just going to take a tiny bit more thread. There we go. I'm going to leave the bobbin on because I can continue my thread the other way later on. I can take more thread off of it. And then we're going to start picking up our seed beads. I'm going to suspend this on my fingers. So I got a nice, so the pearls are not going to jump around. I got a nice area to work with. This is my tail end here. So I've wrapped the tail end around my finger. And this is my working thread here. And I'm going to start picking up my seed beads and crystals. So the pattern you need to pick up is 4 seed beads and 1 4mm crystal and 4 seed beads. And we're going to come through from the tail end. We're going to go through both of those pearls again. When I pull that tight, you're going to see the seed bead just sort of form a little half circle on the side of the pearls, like sort of hugging the 2 pearls together. And I'm going to repeat this one more time. So I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads. I'm going to pick up a crystal bead and another 4 seed beads. And again, I'm going to come from the tail end through both of those pearls. So I'm going to have a really, we're going to be going through this middle pearls quite a lot. And I'm going to pull this tight. Now what you need to make sure all the way you're going through, that you're going to flip 1 seed bead on one side and the other one to the other side. That's the key thing to your weaving, that you always add 1 to one side and add 1 to the other side. Now before we go any further, I'm going to pick up a pearl because we're going to move along one and take this right down to the bottom, and I'm going to simply repeat what I just been doing. So I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads, I'm going to pick up a crystal, another 4 seed beads, and again I'm going to go through 2 of my pearls. Now as I'm moving along, I'm going to go through the pearl I just added and the one before, and again I'm just sewing those 2 pearls together. So on one side, pull it nice and tight, and I'm going to repeat this again, picking up 4 seed beads, a crystal, and another 4 seed beads, and I'm going to come through those 2 pearls again, the last 2, and pull this tight. Now I want to make sure this loop's going to end up on the other side, sort of covering the first 2 loops I get. I'm going to turn my beading around because I like to stitch away from myself, and because now I got a few beads to hold on to, I can quite easily hold it between my index finger and thumb, and I'm holding my working thread down right at the back so I don't let it travel back up. So this allows me to keep a much tighter tension. So I'm on a step along again. I'm going to pick up a pearl, take it all the way down, and I'm going to repeat adding my loops. Now what you have to be careful when you're holding in your hand, that it doesn't flip around, because if you flip around and you add the 2 loops here, then the loops are not going to end up on top of each other. So if I added it to this side, the loop I would be adding would be underneath where I really need to be. So always make sure that you're holding it the right way, that the loops from the bottom, they're on top of each other, 1 to the left and 1 to the right. And I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads, a crystal bead, another 4 seed bead, and go through these last 2 pearls. and pull this tight. And Marion is saying, not done the double one yet, looking forward to doing this. It's really easy. It's the single one is really, really easy. And with this one, you start off with a single one and you join your second one as you go along. So I'm just going to do the loop on the other side. 4 seed beads, crystal, 4 seed beads, and going through the last 2 pearls there as well. Pull it tight, and now we got 3. The bottom one is gonna sort of flip around, but don't worry about that at the moment. We will straighten it up later on, and just keep adding your pearls one at a time, and then your loops to one side and then to the other side. It's really that easy. So the single one, you would just carry on like this all the way through and attach your clasp at the end. But with this one, I'm going to do a few more stitches. I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to show you how to attach the next row. But you can continue. You can do 2 rows, 3 rows, especially if you use smaller beads. You can do as many rows as you like. I love because it creates a really nice fabric-like texture. And the movement in the bracelet is just really sort of gorgeous. And I'm doing that as well. So when I'm into my beading, I usually take my thread to the other side, hold my pearls down in the middle, and then pull my thread up. And with this, I'm sure that my other loop is going to end up on the other side. So I'm keep having one loop on one side and the other one on the other side. I'm picking up a pearl, taking it all the way down. Leon is saying the most complicated things are not out of reach. No, I think sometimes when you look at a piece of jewelry, and I often, like, if I go into Claire's with Lucy because she absolutely loves it, she just wants to go in there and look loads of different things, or like, you know, in the supermarkets as well now, they got like jewelry stands and all sorts, or department stores, they got plenty of jewelry as well. I do look at jewelry as well, and you look at it and you think, oh, I would never be able to make this, but in fact, the techniques, especially for those store-bought ones, because they are manufactured by hundreds and thousands at a time, they can't afford to use really difficult techniques, so they to keep the cost down, they have to make, I don't know, one person probably have to make maybe 50-60 bracelets or necklace a day. That you can always look at it and work out a little bit how is it made and have a go and try it as well. And something like this as well, it's really not difficult at all once you know how. But then it's like anything, it's like baking, that if you know the recipe, you know it's going to turn out perfect. So he's saying, I won't be able to see all this. I have got to go for about this. Oh, I hope you're all right, Sue. Just keep picking up 4 seed beads, a crystal, another 4 seed beads. Is this clear so for everybody got what we are doing? Do let me know if you got a question. I'm just going to keep continue adding a few more pearls so we got a little bit of length to our bracelet. And I'm adding a pearl. I think you're replying to each other, saying, yes, Christopher was ill during the night, bless him. So I need to, after the video, I need to go and clean the carpet. We stripped the bed last night, so that's on the landing. I need to go and wash all that, bless him. So he's at home today, just curled up on the sofa and watching TV. I'm not sure what it was, just had a bit of an upset tummy. Bless him. But I was so looking forward to it. I was so relaxed last night. I did a little Facebook Live on my page, which is Kitty Robinson Designs. On Sunday nights, I just do sort of an uninformal chat. And I was so nice and relaxed. And after that, I just sit here and made some bracelets for Sarah for the show on Wednesday. And I thought, I'm going to have a nice sleep tonight, a nice early night tonight. And it always happens when you least expect it. That 2 a.m. in the morning, he came in and said, I'm not feeling very well. I got a tummy ache. And obviously when you get up with him and sort him out, and after that you can't go back to sleep for ages because you're thinking, oh, is he gonna be sick again, or is he all right? So, but hey ho, that's the life of being a mama, I guess. So I'm just keep adding my seed bead and crystal loops around my pearls. I'm going to add a few more rows, and then we're going to introduce the second row. Make sure when you go through your pearls that you don't go through one of your seed beads as well. So you just only go through the 2 pearls themselves. I'm just picking up another pearl. Oh, my thread got caught. So if you do have a go at this, please put a picture up in one of our handmade groups. I absolutely love to see what you're making. I think it's like a proud mommy moment, I guess. That's the only thing I can relate it to. Like, you know, when your child comes home from school and they did a craft project or an art project, and they bring something actually really nice home, and you feel like, oh, you feel they're really proud that your child done a really good job at this. And Christopher's been doing, like, you know, when they were doing, he's got some drawings and some pictures he's been doing, so has Lucy. And I got Lucy's penguin. She drew a penguin, or I think actually it was painted when she was 3 years old, and I still got the little penguin because it's so cute. So whenever you lot put a picture up in the handmade, that's how I feel that I'll give you inspiration, and then you take an inspiration, perhaps use different materials or different sizes of beads, and you take it even further, or, you know, you made bracelets up or blended different colors. I really do feel like a proud mummy moment when I see you all making it. So if you are new to today, we got on Totally Beads, which where you are now watching this video, we got groups, and the most popular one is Totally Handmade by Totally Beads, and there is thousands of people in there just sort of sharing inspiration, sharing their makes. And don't be afraid, nothing is too basic because or too advanced if you're sharing it, because we're all sort of different levels as well, able to do different things. And do share the video as well if you can. If you share the video, it will stay on your timeline in Facebook, so you can go back on any time and watch it. You can also save the video, and I think if you press on the 3 dots on the top left hand corner, you can watch it, come back and watch it later, or alternatively you can go to our website, and if you click on the Facebook tutorials page, go into which one you're interested, and then there is a big blue button on the top. It will take you to the video as well. Molly also downloads and uploads the videos to YouTube, so you can find it there as well. But we do appreciate if you share the video, so we can get more people inspired and more people crafting, using up all those materials what we have in the cupboard. Gosh, I got plenty of stuff in the cupboard, and not just beading but other stuffs as well. We got felting, we got card making, we got knitting, we got crocheting, we got the whole shebang, I guess. I think when you're a crafter, you sort of move from one craft to another and do try yourself on all sorts of different things. And I certainly did a lot of things before beading. You know, I did card crafts, a lot of knitting, crocheting, cross stitch, a lot of different bits and pieces. But when I came across beading, which was 17 years ago, I just fell in love with it because the textures you can create, there is, oh my word, there is thousands of different materials. There is different colors, different textures, different shapes to work with. So it's really, I think there isn't another craft out there which has got so much design possibilities as jewellery making or crafting with bead, because we don't just make jewellery. I mean, we've done candle holders, we've done other bits of home decor pieces as well with our beads. So you could do a lot. Dorothy's saying, you're right, Kitty, but I keep coming back to beads. Yes, I think it is because with beads, you got so many colors, textures, sizes, shapes. So there's always something new, and techniques, oh my word. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't that many techniques in other crafts, because certainly knitting and crocheting, there is so many different stitches as well. But in beading, there is so many different techniques and mediums you can use that it's really, I think it keeps you, you know, you can always, even if you've been beading for 20 years, there's always something new what you can put your hand at and trying a new technique or a new type of bead. It's really great. Carol is saying, I agree, Kitty, I'm hooked on beads. I think like we all got our favorite techniques as well, and it's really interesting between me and Sarah because we are so similar, but at the same time we are very different. So she loves, I like all sort of wire work, she loves chainmail and other techniques. I love the stitching techniques. So if I had to choose for one technique out of the whole jewelry making and beading, I would choose this one where you're stitching beads together with needle and thread. I think that's sort of really me. And I think I'm safe to say that Sarah would choose working with wire, maybe. I haven't actually asked her. Maybe we need to ask her that question. If you could choose just one technique in your jewelry making, what you would choose. I tried, I think, when I first started beading, I did put my hand up, you know, I did crocheting with wire and loads of different bits of pieces with it as well, but I didn't like it as much as I liked the stitching one, so I stuck with stitching with beads together for a long time. And it's not until a couple of years ago, no, actually it was last year, when we started to do those gemstone trees with the wire, that I really fall in love with making those gemstone trees and how to form the wire. And now wire is my second favorite thing, I guess, to do things. And I did flowers, I did poinsettias, I did Sarah's lavenders, and I really enjoyed it. Dee's saying, my other crafts have been on hold and have been beading. I am so grateful for all this demo, helps so much as a new beader. Oh, you're very welcome, lovely. Me and Sarah both really enjoyed this. This is a really nice interaction for us as well with like-minded people. Usually we would have workshops and bead clubs at Totally Beads where we would sort of meet some of you. And it would be a really great giggly day just to sit down and do beading, and I really enjoy teaching there as well. But at the moment, obviously, we can't do those at all, and I don't think we're going to return back to them this year with the current situation. So these Facebooks, I just really enjoyed them. Really, it's just a really nice interaction with everybody, and I met so many new people. Doris is saying, I have done a lot of knitting, crochet, tatting, embroidery and plastic canvas, etc. over the years, but when I started beading, it was like a different world. I have not stopped since I started 7 years ago. I think that's it, that like we all will find one craft what we prefer the most and want to do the most. We will dibble dabble into other things as well. I mean, I certainly knitted a couple of jumpers for my husband I think they are the back of the cupboard somewhere because he never seems to be wearing them. They're quite thick wool as well, so they're really, really hot. And bless him. But beading is really, I think it's my thing. I really enjoy it. I don't get tired. Even if I'm sitting down here until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, it just doesn't, I just never feel like, oh, I don't want to see a bead. It's like I'm always excited to work with the colors and do the different things. It doesn't really feel like a job. It feels like, you know, even though we had Totally Beads for 16 years, it feels like, you know, a hobby, I think, to do, because I enjoy it so much. Right, I think I'm only gonna add one more pearl, and we're gonna start with our second line. Amina is saying, I have been beading for 7 years and only use Tiger stretch elastic and monofilament. With your video and instructions, and I am now using thread and needle and loving it. Thank you, Kitty and Sarah. Oh, bless. Diane is saying, I found knitting very good for depression, but getting back to beading because of the videos. Oh, thank you so much for following us and watching us. I think that's what gives us the confidence as well to keep on going. I'm just going to add 1 or 2 more, and then we're going to start with the second line. So I'm still, if you just joined us, we're doing a double row flat spiral, which starts off as a single row, and we're going to join the second row to it in a minute. I'm picking up a pearl, and then I'm doing 2 loops, 1 loop for either side. So I'm picking up 4 seed beads, a crystal, another 4 seed beads. The pearls are 6mm, the crystals are 4mm, and the seed beads are size 11. And I'm always just going through the last 2 pearls in the middle. When I have a loop on either side, that's when the time is to step up, and I will pick up a pearl. And now when I pick up the loops, I will go through these 2. So I'm just going to make this my last one, because we're still going to need to add one when we're adding our clasp. And I'm going to start with the second row, bead it up quickly, and I'm going to show you how to attach the clasp. Brenda is saying the concentration is therapeutic. Oh yes, definitely. And it's not just it's therapeutic, it's, I think it takes your mind off everything. So when you, like, this one is not a very difficult pattern, but any pattern you follow, you need to concentrate on the pattern, and you need to count your beads, and it's repetitive, you're counting them over and over again, and it really takes my mind off everything. And that's, you know, I often go and say, oh, I had a 1 more row night last night, which means that I was beading and I was enjoying myself so much that I checked the clock and it was 9 o'clock, and then I'll just do 1 more row, and the next time I checked the clock it was 10 o'clock, and I'm just saying, well, I'm just gonna go 1 more row and then go to bed. And the next time you check the clock, it's like midnight, and you see, I absolutely must go to bed because I have to be up early in the morning with the children. So I taken a couple of span of thread off my bobbin, and I'm threading the bobbin a new needle. I'm gonna take this down so I can then, the beauty of this, continue my stitching the other way, because if I turn this around, you can see this is exactly what we had at the top, and we can continue our beading this way as well. This is great because you're not joining, you don't have to join a thread so often, and you know it takes quite a while when you join threads to work all the tails off. And if I can, I always try to work with 1 thread going all the way along, but you can't work with like 4 meters of thread at a time. So bracelets like this is great because you can go in one direction and then you go to the other direction. Kevin is saying beading is my main craft. I also love diamond painting, and I also done felting. I done a diamond painting as well. I done like poppies. Oh God, it was years and years ago, and I really love to do another one. Maybe I will look around and get one. It was that was really, therapeutic as well. But at the moment, we got a brand new line at Total Beads. I'm not allowed to tell you what it is. We'll be launching it at the weekend, but it's going to be really great. I'm really looked forward to this one. So I'm going to start this off the same way I started the other one. I picked up 2 pearls. I picked up my 4 seed bead, crystal 4 seed bead. I went through the tail and I did one, so I did 1 loop on one side. Now, when I'm doing the second loop, that's when I'm joining the 2 together. So I already got the crystal here on my previous. Shall I let you a little bit more down so you can see it? Sorry, wobbling camera. I'm gonna let you come down a little bit more so you can see it better, what I'm doing. Right, hopefully it will stay there. That's it. So this time I'm gonna join one side with the other. The crystal is already there on the first loop from the previous one, so I'm just going to pick up 4 seed beads. I'm going to go through this crystal back down towards my tail, pull this through, pick up another 4 seed beads and go up through both of those pearls. Now when you start or do the first couple of rows, make sure you don't go through the seed bead at the top. It's always a little bit tricky, but once you got a few steps in, you got something to hold on to and it will become nice and easier. Let me just bring some of these pearls down. So the neck, got a loop on one side, I got a joining loop on the other side, so I'm bringing down a pearl now. Let it go all the way down to the bottom, and then I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads. I'm going to pick up a crystal and 4 seed beads. Normally I would, how much I would do for a loop, and I'm going to come through these 2 pearls, these last 2 pearls again. That's it, and pull it through. So as you can see, when I'm pulling it through, I'm holding the beadwork between my thumb and my middle finger so I can get a nice and tight tension. And now I'm going to pick up, I got 1 loop on one side, so I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads, and I'm going to come through the second crystal, just the crystal, not the seed beads on the previous line, and pull this up, and picking up another 4 seed beads and going up these 2 again. And when I pull that tight, it's got, my thread got a bit twisted. Just make sure it's nice and straight. I got my second pearl there. So that's all. That's how you join your 2 together. It's going to be joined by this crystal in the middle. Lorna is saying the first few stitches are always awkward. Yes, they are, because you haven't got anything to hold on to, and different stitches will be, I guess you will hold them in a different way. So sometimes I would even hold the thread from my end, and if I do a spiral, then until I got something to hold on to. But it's what's most comfortable for you, because we're all different. We all hold the things different way. You really have to work out. Some people, I know, by teaching classes and workshop, I know that some people prefer to just only work on their mat. So they wouldn't even pick up the beadwork at all. They would just work on their mat. I prefer to hold the beading in my hand because I feel I get a better and tighter tension like that. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going through the third crystal here. Picking up another 4 seed beads and going up through both of those pearls. So I'm doing the same as I did in the first row, but here I don't pick up the second crystal, it's joined with the first row. I just need a few more seed beads here. So if you just joined us, we're doing these double row flat spiral bracelets. They are really lovely and quite easy to make. Just get a few more crystals as well. The texture, what you create with it, it's like a fabric-like texture. It's got a really nice fluidity to it. Let me just show you one of the samples. 1 second, I'm just getting a few more pearls off. So the texture is just really, you know, a really nice and fluid piece, like a ribbon-like texture, quite flat, but they're really, really nice. This is one of my favorite stitches. I keep going back, and we've done different versions. So we've done 2 single ones, one of them with crystals, the other one with miracle beads and larger seed beads. So probably this is, if you're brand new to this, try this one out as well. But the double one is just, I think it's just stunning with all the crystals. So I'm gonna go and add my pearls and crystals as I go up all the way to the top. Sharon is saying, I didn't realize I wasn't a member of the Totally Beads handmade group. Yes, if you on Totally Beads page, we have got a group called Totally Handmade by Totally Beads, and there is thousands of people in there just sort of sharing inspiration every day, what they're making, or if you need advice, probably that's a really, you know, good one to ask there as well, to put your questions on a beading or technique or material, because all of us have different takes and different experiences with our beads and threads and mediums and what we like to use. So you can have a really, you know, varied answers, and you could try which one fits you the best. Anita is asking, how many grams of seed beads do we need for a double row bracelet? So I'm using 10 grams here, a string of pearls, a string of crystals, will do you about 7.5, 8-inch bracelet by the time you add the clasp onto it. So I'm just continuing adding my crystals and seed beads all the way to the top, joining them every single time. Lorna is saying, that's what good about these videos. Seeing you hold your work helps me to get it right, for me to get better attention. Yes, I think, you know, each of us are different, and as I said, we like to hold things differently, but do try out different ways, because what's comfortable for your hand? It's like pliers as well. We all prefer different sort of pliers, and I got probably 4 or 5 different plier sets because I really like my tools, but I got a couple of favorite ones which I use all the time. And another 4 and going back up. That's it. So I'm going to take you back out a little bit, so I've got a little bit more room to work here. Sorry for the wobbly camera. Janet is saying a daylight bulb is good as any swan neck type of light is pure white light. Yes, I think it's really important to have a really good lighting on your beadwork, and I'm so glad, although it's only just being shipped, we're gonna be having our rechargeable little LED lights back in stock soon. They are great as well because you can clip them on the side of your like table or the side, you know. It's going to be probably about 4 or 5 weeks until we get them back, but they are great as well. It's very important to have good lighting when you're doing beading, and especially when you're working with small beads. because you really need to see them. Although when I first started, I did work with 15s and 20, and even I think size 24 was the smallest bead I ever touched. It's tiny, and the needle you use for it, it's like a feather thin needle. But then I didn't really touch 15s for maybe 5 or 6 years at all, because we were doing different things and going in different directions, I guess. And when I came back and started using 15s again, I thought, oh my word, these 15s over the years got so much smaller. I can't believe what's happened. Is this the way? How's it going? Like all the beads are getting smaller? And then I realized it wasn't the 15s which has got smaller, it's my eyesight which has got, like, you know, worsened over the years. So it's really important for me to have a really good lighting when I do some beadwork. And before, I suppose I could have beaded out a candlelight if I wanted to. So daylight bulbs are great as well. I got quite a few. I got one in a lounge, a lamp. I got one here. I got one upstairs. Because I do carry my work around on a beading tray and do bits and pieces. Oh, I don't need a crystal. I'm joining. Not just the crystal. Mary's saying, gosh, you can see a size 24 bead. Yes, I don't even know where I got it from. They were really, really tiny. I have to find, I sort of had it on the edge of a bracelet. I'll have to find it. I don't know where it went, because I think we moved, and like I tend to sort of clear out and pack things and reorganize things. I don't know, it was a turquoise color. I'll have a look if I can find them. So I'm just adding a pearl now. Everybody's saying hi and welcome. I think I missed somebody's comment. Linda, where are you from, Linda? Mercy saying hi from the UK. Lydia saying hello from Oklahoma City. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm so glad that I'm baffled by this. With the power of the internet, we can really get around the world and inspire people, really. I think one of the days we had people from Australia, we had people from America, and all over the world. Sweden, Finland. It's really great to, you know, it's really, you can connect with people from all over the world. And we're such a nicely bunch of here. And I know quite a few of you made sort of crafty friends over the videos and in the handmade group as well. And saying, I have just come across your tutorial, love the pattern, it looks so easy for beginners to do. The crystals give it love from Ardusson, Scotland. Oh. Just going through the crystal. I don't want to go through the seed beads. So if you just joined us, we are making one of these double row flat spiral bracelets. Let me just take this through and I show you a finished sample. I just need to add a few more pearls and I'm going to show you how to join the end. I love this because it creates a ribbon-like, fabric-like texture, really fluid, you can see, and you're sewing the beads together with needle and thread as you go along. The bracelet comes up really sparkly with all the crystals and pearls in there and the seed beads. Quite simple because you only have 3 different materials in there, but it really gives a very nice texture. And you can make, as you can see, so many different colors, and I love each one of them. This is one of those things why I really had to go and play with it, and I just couldn't help myself, and I think I did like 12, 14 colors. And then Simon had to say, well, you better stop now because you will have to make up all the samples for the picture for the website, etc. But just sometimes when I really find a stitch which I love, I can't help myself but just sit there and experiment with all the different colors. And just going through this those 2 pearls, making sure I'm not picking up any of the seed beads. And once I added the loop there, I'm just gonna join the 2 together by picking up 4 seed beads, and I'm gonna go to the crystal, just the crystal, not the seed beads from the other row we created. Pull this up and then picking up another 4 seed beads and going up through those last 2 pearls. And I'm going to pull this up nice and tight. Then I'm going to pick up another pearl, take it all the way down, so I'm stepping up. Leanne is saying International Left-Handers Day 2020, Thursday the 13th of August. I didn't know there was an International Left-Handers Day. I always say I got 2 left hands because I can use both of my hands. I think my right hand is a little bit more dominant, but I can bead or write or do anything with my left hand. But and people think, oh, it's so great, you're ambidextrous and you can do things. And it's not really, because I think there is not a clear divide in my head that what hand I use for what. So I would probably pick up the phone with my left hand, but and with the knife as well, if you put it down, sort of, you put knife on the right side, your fork on the left side, but if you swap them around, I won't even realize it and just pick it up and use it in my left hand. But I think in your head, most of the people like either righties or lefties, but when you neither of them, it's really sometimes really hard. And I think that's why I'm so clumsy, and I usually walk into things and hurt myself quite a lot. So the pearls I'm using are 6mm. The crystals I'm using is 4mm, and the seed beads I'm using is size 11. I'm just going to add a few more pearls and I'm going to show you how to attach the end. Brandy's saying, those of us, you know, Simon and the rest of the staff, how hard are you work and get these kits in place for everyone to enjoy. Ah, thank you, Brenda. Brenda is one of our locals. She lives in Clacton. She's one of the ladies who usually come to our bead clubs and when we have them and workshops. I really do miss those. But hopefully, maybe later in a year or next year, we can start back up again. So I just picked up the pearl. I picked up 4 seed beads, a crystal, 4 seed beads. And then gone through the last 2 pearls. So I gone to the pearl before and the one I just added to form this loop. And now I'm attaching this row to the row before. So I'm just picking up 4 seed beads, going through the crystal, just the crystal, on the previous row. Pulling it up. And then picking up another 4 seed beads and going through the 2 pearls. So it's a very repetitive pattern, quite therapeutic, and you will go along. Dorothy saying, I'm the only one in my family, I don't know how that happens. Are you saying, Dorothy, that you're left-handed? Teresa is saying, hello from Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, hi from the UK. We are from the UK, and you're very welcome. Hoping we are here. If you just joined, or if this is the first time you're seeing us, we are here every morning at 10 a.m. If it rains, if it's sunny, hail or snow, we are here at 10 a.m. doing a particular stitch, using a particular beads, going through, and we've been doing this for 15 weeks. I think this is today is the 16-week starting. So we started these videos when the lockdown started in the UK. I just really wanted to sort of give inspiration to you and, you know, be with you there every single day, because I do appreciate some of you do live by yourself and your own. I just really wanted to give you something, an interaction every single day to get you through your day and hopefully inspire you so you can make lovely pieces of jewellery and home decor. And then it's really took off and grew, and loads of you just really loved the videos. So first we said, oh, we're going to do it until the end of April, and then we said we're going to do it until the end of May, end of June. And a couple of weeks ago we decided that we're going to do it for the foreseeable future until we can, with Sarah on board as well, bless her, so we can share it. So some days you're going to see her and some days you're going to see me. And it's just really great that we can share, because that means we both of us can get a day off now and then. And it's been a really nice, we really enjoyed doing it, I think, as much, because it's our interactions as well with everybody. It's just been really great and got us through, I guess, the lockdown as well. And the time flew. It really, really flew for us. I don't know where is the last 3 months. Adelina's asking, can you attach the magnetic clasp to double row? I just need to add a few more pearls, and I'm going to show you how to attach these 4-loop clasp to the end. Nice and professional way. I have seen pictures. Some people are using these clasps but only attaching in a couple of places. I like to attach it that I sew my bracelet to every single one of those loops, and in the end I come back and add probably, hold on, let's get a lighter bracelet, this one properly, you can see it. At the end I like to come back and add a top row to my clasp, so I just hide those loops and it just looks like a little bit more professional. So I'll show you in a minute. Just let me add these few more pearls and I'll show you how to attach the end. Because before you attach the end, your bracelet, both sides has to be at the end. Jeannie's saying time has gone fast. Yes, it really has. I can't believe it's like a 6th of July now. We're almost halfway through the summer, and before you know it, it's going to be Christmas. Christmas is one of my favourite time of the year. Well, probably is the favourite one. And it's not just because the presents, I think it's all the buzz about. And every year we make a new decoration up. It's just really great to... I think we got about 5 or 6 boxes of decoration now, because every single year we add something to it. So yeah, I love Christmas. Lorna is saying, good tip. Adding seed beads over the clasp looks neater. I think how you attach the clasp can really show a bracelet more professional, or it can show like you can let your beading down, and you're creating such a nice fabric-like texture with these beads. And you spend probably about an hour or so making a bracelet, so you really want to have a very professional end there. So I'm just adding my last few pearls. Sorry, I shouldn't have made this this long, but this is one of my favorite stitches, so I can get carried away with it and just keep on beading and beading. And I suppose talking at the same time, so I could talk forever as well. Only a few more pearls to add. I can see that you're having a nice little chest amongst your savils. Danny's saying movies 24 on Sky showing Christmas films now. Oh, bless. I love a good Christmas movie. Oh, so he's saying not the seabird, meaning Christmas. I know some years I can get really organized and I can even buy presents in September, and by sort of end of November comes, I'm all sorted with presents and everything wrapped. So what we do in our house, which I found sort of the best thing to do and get really excited, get the children really excited. So our tree goes up the first weekend of December, and when I buy a present, I wrap it up, and instead of adding a from and to who message on the box itself, I just assign a number. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, 20, 30, how much ever little or big presents we have, and I stick it under the tree. And on my phone, I have a list of what number is from who and to who, so the children can see the presents properly for them as we, we keep adding to them as we keep buying more, but they can see the presents under the tree, and it just goes on for, obviously, for the next 3-4 weeks until they're there, that they're guessing, oh, which present is mine and which present is yours, and that box looks bigger, and it's really great. It's just a really great way to get them, and we've been doing this for, I think, over 10 years. We've always been doing this. And when we open the presents, we always, we get a number, and I would tell them who's that present and who is it from, and then we would watch that person open the present, and then we would get another one. So it takes us a bit longer, a couple of hours, to open all the presents in our household, but I think that's a really nice time, very relaxed, and not just sort of plop loads of presents in front of them and then they just go mayhem and they will rip it open. So it's a really nice way, I found, to get them interested, get them guessing. And I do play tricks on them, because one year I did wrap up all of Christopher's presents in Cinderella. I think it was Cinderella, or one of the Disney princesses' wrapping paper, and I think I wrapped up Lucy's in, or it was Cars, or some boys' ones as well. And the next year I would wrap it up in all blue or all pink, so they really haven't got a clue which one is which, because they can't guess. And it's just really great way. Oh, I don't need a crystal. So I'm just going through the last crystal at the top here. I'm going to pull this through. I'm going to add my last 4 cedar beads, so I'm in the same position on this second row how long I did the first row. Just going to go up, sorry, wobbling camera, and pull this through. Make sure my thread doesn't get knotted up. Pull this loop out, and that's it, and sit it down so nice and straight. So I'm at the edge, I'm at the top, they both are the same length, and I'm gonna add this 4 loop clasp bit. Now whenever you add, Oh, Paul is saying don't lose your phone, Kitty. Oh no, because then I will lose the list. But I got an iPhone, so he saves the list in the cloud, so I could log in my iPad and have a look at it. And Titi's saying I have been on lockdown over 100 days. That's the new norm for me. Let's just go back. Diana's saying I got some presents in post-Christmas sale for neighbours' children, come in handy for children in the avenue who had birthday in lockdown. Marion Pringle, are you making the Christmas baubles while you watch? Carol's saying you are organised. I think when you got a really busy, Lucy's saying, at least I don't have to buy any Christmas presents this year. Oh, bless. I bet you've been making loads of jewellery and you can... Oh, Shin is saying 171 days until Christmas. Less than 24 weeks to go. Oh, bless. So, going back to this, what I was saying, that you have to be organised when you got a busy household, a business and children and everybody to run. Right, so I'm going to join this 4-loop clasp to my bracelet. So whenever you join anything, which is a wider bracelet for a wider clasp with multiple loops, how I design it and how I do it, I always put the loop right next to my finished piece. And even here, sometimes I would change the clasp of this presents, because I might put a silver one with my bracelet, but you can only see how is it going to look right next to it when you are at the point of joining. So I do like to keep these clasps in my stash in all the different colors I suppose I can get. Right, so I line up the 4 loops and I just have a look where those 4 loops end up with my beading. So I need to join 2 loops with the second row and the first 2 loops with the first row I beaded. And it's quite lucky with this one because each one of those has got a loop next to them. So I'm going to join 1 loop on the clasp with the first sort of seed beads going around, the second loop with the second one, the third one with the third one, and the fourth one with the fourth one. But always do look at your clasp when you doing this sort of beading. Just put it down next to your beading and have a little think that how you're going to join it, because there's so many different ways you can join your clasp. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to need to add 1 more pearl on either side. So I'm going to start with my other one. I'm going to pick up a pearl and I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead, and I'm going to go through the loop right on the edge of my bracelet and pull this up. So because we're adding an extra pearls on either side when we're sewing it together, we need to make sure we add this last loop so we finish our pattern completely nice and neat to our clasp. So as I just added a seed bead and a pearl, I'm gonna come back through the seed bead and the pearl and the second pearl on my the one which was the pearl which is already was on my beading. So I just joined 1 loop there. So now what I need to do is to make the other loop going all the way on the outside of it. I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads. I'm going to pick up a crystal. And then I'm going to pick up a further 3 seed beads. Because I already have 1 just right at the top. And I'm going to take this all the way down. Just like that. So now I'm going to go through the same loop I just went through before. But I want to be on the outside of it. It doesn't matter which direction you're going through, as long as you sew these beads to your clasp as well. And that's it. And now I'm going to come back through those 3 seed beads, the crystal and 4 seed beads here, and down through the pearl, both of the pearls. I'm just trying to sort of showing it to you at the same time and trying to hold it tight. So let's pull this up. So I'm back in the position where I was just a minute ago. I'm not going to go through the tiny little seed bead. I'm just went through the 2 pearls. Now I'm going to pick up, then I got a thread, a wonky thread path here. 1 sec. I need to take this back. I'm talking and I think I'm 1 step ahead of myself what I actually was, so I just need to go back through the seed beads. I did say I'm going to go through the seed beads And then I didn't. Oh dear, I think my 2 a.m. staying up until probably was gone 4 a.m. by the time I've fallen back to sleep. A little early morning with Christopher, bless him. Right, just hold this up. I'm gonna go back through the seed beads, the crystal and the other seed beads. Pull this up nice and tight. We can come back and tighten it up a little bit more later, but I like to tighten it up as I go along. The last seed bead and up those 2 pearls. It does sort of pays off to have a nice finish, to spend a little bit of time here at the end and make it look like nice and even. So I'm gonna pick up 1 seed bead, replicating what I have on the first loop, and go through the second loop on my clasp. So I'm just going through the second loop, taking this up. Then I'm gonna come back through that seed bead and 2 of the pearls, just like that. Pull this up nice and tight, and I'm gonna add another loop of seed beads and crystals going on the other side. So I'm picking up 4 seed bead, a crystal, and a further 3 seed bead, and I'm gonna go through this second loop again, pulling it nice and tight, and I'm gonna come back through the seed beads, the crystal, make sure the thread doesn't get tangled on the clasp, and the 4 seed beads here. Oh, Donnie's saying everyone is getting homemade, handmade Christmas presents this year. I think they are the best ones. So I'm right at the top there. Now I am going to come back down. I'm gonna attach. I'm gonna go through just one of the pearls and just leave it there for the minute, because what I want to do, I want to attach the other side, and then we're going to add the last little decoration loops. So we have, if you don't have the last loop on your bracelet, which I show you on a finished sample, so as you can see, you adding the last little loops on afterwards. If you don't add those, these bigger loops can still flop around, but at the moment I'm just going to stop here. So I just came to 1 pearl so I can have a really nice and tight tension, pull it tight, and I'm going to pop this to the side, just insert it in my mat there. I'm going to pop to the other side, take my other needle and attach the clasp to this one, to this side. Now it doesn't matter where you start, so you can mirror what you did here and start on the outer edge. I quite like to do sort of in a row. So I'm going to pick up a pearl, and I'm going to pick up a seed bead, and I'm going to go through the 3rd loop on my clasp. Then I'm going to take my needle back through the seed bead and pearl I just added, and traveling back up the pearl which was already on my bracelet. When I pull this nice and tight, so I've sewing my bracelet to the 3rd loop now. Now I need to go down and attach another outside loop, but the crystal is already here. So I just need to pick up 4 seed beads. I'm gonna go through the crystal, just like that. Then I'm gonna pick up a further 3 seed beads and go through this 3rd loop again. And as I'm pulling this nice and tight, I'm gonna then come back through those 3 seed beads, the crystal itself, pull this up nice and tight, continue back with the 4 seed beads, and down the 2 pearls themselves. So you're in a position to attach your bracelet to the last loop. So we're getting a really nice and professional finish here by just taking a little bit longer time. I'm just picking up a seed bead and going through this last loop, coming back on that seed bead I just added through those 2 pearls, and picking up 4 seed beads, a crystal, and 3 seed beads, so I can go through the last loop one more time and then come back through these beads just added through the seed bead, crystal. Anita is saying that's really nice way to finish the end. I think this is what sometimes that's what can let down your jewelry making, that how you attach the clasp or how you to finish a bracelet. The more time you sort of spend on it and think it through, I think the better and more professional finish you can have. And it's just, I think if the clasp looks like a part of the bracelet, that's really what you're aiming for, that it's meant to be there. So I just came to that 1 pearl so I can pull this nice and tight, and all it's left to do is for us to add these last little half rows of seed beads and crystals to our, let me just find the lighter one so I can show you. So we can add this last little row, well, it's, you can see it better here, of half loops. So these loops then gonna force down the loops underneath them, so you're gonna, bracelet's gonna be really nice and straight. So because I'm on this side, I'm gonna start with this side as well. Quite easily, we're just gonna pick up 4 seed beads as we are coming out just between the 2 last pearls. Gonna pick up 4 seed beads. I'm gonna pick up a crystal, and I'm gonna pick up, no, actually I'm gonna just leave it there, because if I pick up another seed bead it's gonna be too much. So again, I'm gonna go through the last loop and pull this up tight. Make sure this little half loop comes to the top. Then I'm going to go back through the crystal and the seed beads themselves, just like that. 1 more seed bead. Now I would need to go straight across and add another half loop here, but as my thread is coming out of the seed beads, it's in the wrong direction. So if I just went and added the seed beads, once I pull this, it would pull this loop up, and I don't want that to happen. So to remedy that, I'm going to take my thread through the pearl, and I'm going to take my thread to one of the seed beads. It doesn't matter which one, the loop on the clasp, just to change the direction of my thread, and then come back after the loop, come back to the seed bead and that last pearl, and then I'm in the right sort of direction to add the next loop. So again, I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads, and then I'm going to pick up the little crystal itself and go through, right bang in the middle, go through the loop, the second loop on my clasp, sort of trying to avoid any of the beads so I'm not getting tangled. Oh, I didn't add the crystal, silly me. Come back quickly. Right, and the crystal, so we can add 4 seed beads and a crystal, and then go through this loop. And when I pull this up, that crystal is just gonna sit there. Now I'm gonna come back through this crystal and pull this up tight so my loop is nice and straight there. I'm gonna come back through the 4 seed beads as well, and just for a second I'm gonna leave my needle and thread. Make sure it doesn't get caught on your clasp. I'm going to leave my needle and thread there and go to the other side and repeat this on this side as well with my first row of beading. So I didn't take the needle out of this one, so I'm here ready to go. Again, I like to go in a row, so I will do the second loop first and then go right to the edge. Now if you look at the second loop, your crystal is already here, so all you need to do is to pick up your 4 seed beads, and then you're gonna go through this crystal which is already there on your beadwork. Pull this up tight, and now I'm gonna go through. So we went through the 3rd loop when we came out from the crystal. Now I'm gonna go through the 2nd loop. I'm going to sew this crystal to the 2nd loop, and that will nicely centralize my crystal. Pull this up nice and tight, and I'm going to come back through the crystal and those 4 seed beads. Then we're going to have to turn our thread path around again. Just pull this nice and tight. Go through that last seed bead, pull this nice and tight. Then we're going to have to turn our thread path around again because we don't want to cross through just there. So I'm just going to go into my pearl, into one of the seed beads. It doesn't matter which direction you go. Go through the loop on your clasp, and then come back through the seed bead and pearl, and I'm just going to be adding my last little loop here. So I'm going to pick up 4 seed beads, I'm going to pick up a crystal, and I'm going to go through this the very first loop on my clasp. Pull this up tight, then I'm going back through the crystal and the seed beads. Now all is left to do is to add a decoration row right at the end there. Sometimes I like to add the decoration row to the front and the back of my bracelet, because then it just sort of covers it up too, and then it doesn't matter which way you're going to be wearing it, it's going to look really nice. So the decoration on the end is just a row of seed beads, what you're going to go down and sort of add from one end all the way through, coming out of the crystal, and just add a number of seed beads there. You can either do one loop to go into one crystal and then loop around and go into the second and add a couple of seed beads into the middle, or you can do just the one long row. Either way, however you can get your thread around. So I need to go to the edge and go into my crystal. Now as you can see, I'm coming out from the 4 seed beads again. I don't just want to go diagonally across. I'm going to turn my thread path around again. So I'm going to go into my pearl, into the seed bead, around the loop, and every single time you're turning your thread path around and you're going into your pearl and seed bead and the loop on the clasp, you are sewing your bracelet to your clasp. So I think overall you're gonna sew your bracelet to the clasp like 12 times, and that gives you a really nice and strong bracelet. Sharon is saying, you make it look so easy. Love it. I'm saying I would definitely need to watch this again to get the clasp right. And Tida is saying, me too. Oh, Adelina, sorry. Carol's saying, me too. Jean is saying, I agree. It's the finish that make it. This is a truly a work of art. You are genius, Kitty. Thanks for sharing. Oh, you're very welcome. Lovely. Thanks you for the really lovely, kind words. And Anita is saying it's a really nice way to finish a bracelet. But this is the thing. You do spend time on this because how you join your bracelet is really gonna show up your skills. The more you sort of think about it and go through your beads, it's just gonna give you a really nice and neat finish. So I'm gonna go straight up with a large loop. So I'm gonna need about 10 beads. However, the loops on your clasp sometimes can be a little bit closer or a little bit larger. So I'm going to pick up 10 seed beads to start with. I'm going to take them all the way down and I'm just going to lay it on the top of my bracelet and see if that is the right amount between my crystals, because I don't want a larger loop because then it's going to bulge up. I don't want a smaller loop because then my thread is going to be showing, but I can see 10 seed beads there is just the right amount to cover the loops on my clasp, and then I got a really nice and professional finish. So I'm just gonna, as I'm coming out of the crystal on one end, I'm just gonna go to the crystal on the other side of my bracelet. And that's it. With that, you have completed your bracelet. You got a really nice and finish, and all is it left to do is to work your thread off. So I would go backwards and forwards with my beads, with my thread through my beads, and just really reinforcing it, following any thread path, do a couple of one thread knots, half hitch knots as Sarah's called them, to secure your thread. I'm just gonna come up a few beads and I'm gonna show you how to do that. I'm just turning my thread around after adding the loop. So I'm gonna be facing in a nice direction. So that's it, we got our bracelet. If you find that this indeed this loop is sort of sticks up a little bit and it's a little bit annoying, I'm gonna sew this thread off and I'll show you how to fix that one. Very, very easy, because we still got a second thread there. So I'm just gonna come through some of the pearls away from my end. Now I'm gonna do a half hitch knot, one thread knot, just here between these two pearls. So I'm gonna go down between the two pearls, and I don't want to go through any of the seed beads. I just want to catch the thread path between those two pearls, and I'm going to pull this needle through. And as you can see, we got a little loop forming here as we're pulling the thread too. Now before this loop disappears, I'm going to go through it and pull this tight, and as you can see, there's a tiny little knot is forming on there. Pull this tight and then take it through a couple more pearls and repeat. So that's how you sew your thread off, just like that. Alternatively, if you got two ends, you can always take your thread to the middle and from the other side as well and just knot it together. Right, let me show you what you can do with this loop in the middle. So I got my second piece of thread here for my second row. I'm just sorry, take a sip of my coffee, which is ice cold now. But hey ho, I'm used to it. I'm always drinking ice cold coffee. So, as I'm coming out of the seed beads, I'm going to turn my thread around how I've been turning it around, because I want to go down and come out of the pearl right at the end. So I'm just going to the pearl and I'm going to pull this tight, make sure it doesn't get knotted. I'm going to go through one of the seed beads and the loop on the clasp. So if you try to go to one of the seed beads and you went through it perhaps a couple of times, the thread might have filled up the hole in a seed bead, you can always try to go through the seed bead on the other side, as it doesn't matter which way you go. And I'm going to come back up my last pearl. That's it. And I'm going to pull this nice and tight, and I'm going to go down right to the middle and come out of my last crystal bead. And that's it, just through the crystal bead. Now what I want to do is to go under the loop I created with the seed bead. And then come back over the seed beads, go back straight into the crystal. Actually, I'm going to take my thread to the other side and pull this up tight. Oh, I got a little knot there. Just pull my thread, yeah, pull that knot out and pull that thread. And with that, I pulled this loop, I joined it to that crystal as well. So it's definitely, it can't come up now because it's tied down by that crystal. And what I'm going to be doing now is the same way as did it with the other thread. I'm just going to go through a few of my pearls and quite simply just stitch with a half hitch knot, tie my threads off, and that's it really. What how you can have a really nice and professional finish to your bracelet with covered loops up. So when this is works, you know, you got a really nice finish there. Like this one, if I close this one up, you can see that you got a loop going on both sides, and it just gives you a really nice little finish. But it comes in so many different colors. Do play with it. I love this stitch. This is one of my favorite stitches. We have so many different colors. Let me just show you them again, so if you're new and you haven't seen them. I love this one. And caramel, you got the seafoam green, you got, that's the midnight blue, I think, navy blue maybe, lavender. I love the lavender. I love this one as well, this really dark purple. I love the pink. I love this salmon pink one as well. The crystal is great. Aqua, look at how sparkly the aqua is. And got this darker caramel browny color as well. This is looks great as well. I could show you my iPad, but my iPad unfortunately turned off, so let me just turn you around so I can see you. Do excuse the state of me because I do look really tired. I feel really tired today. Probably a million years old, I guess. Although I don't know how would you feel if you were a million years old. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to go and have a little nap this afternoon after being up half the night with the lovely Christopher. Adeline is asking which ones are in the bundle, please. So the bundle, we just pick whatever is in stock. It's really a good, just sort of a mixture of seven bracelets in there. The guys just pick it as they pick the order, so it's a bit of a lucky draw, I guess, because you might get you will get 7 colors, and we always make sure we're not going to pick you 7 green colors or 7 pink colors. This always make sure that you get a really good mixture of colors in there. But the bundle is on offer, so that's $34.99, so it costs you $5 to make a bracelet. Otherwise the bracelets are $6.99, and you need to add needle and thread if you haven't got it. It's really great. The bundle is a really great way to learn the stitch, practice it and perfect it, and then you're going to have perfect bracelets at the end of it by the time you make the 7th one. It does come with instructions. The bracelets come with instructions as well, printed instructions, or you can buy and download the PDF, which is $2.99 today. It's quite a few pages because it took me quite a few pages to draw out all the different steps. Susan is saying, these are so pretty. Thank you for an excellent tutorial, Kitty. You're very welcome. Maxine is saying, thanks, Kitty. Great tutorial again. Fab finished. Thanks, Kitty. Pamela is saying, Oh, Dirty Saint, and look at you, look fine. Yeah, I feel quite a bit tired. I feel like a bit flagging today, so coffee will be my best friend, but today, but never mind. It's just one of those days. It's just life, isn't it? So do share the video if you can. I do really appreciate it. So we can have as many people, we can inspire them, and I love to see what you make. Do pop a picture into the handmade group, or and you know, we got the Totally Beads, the handmade by Totally Beads is the one what you. Most of you, and maybe got a couple of other groups as well, the Seed Bead group and Crystal group. We did set up, I think, 5 groups at the start of it because we didn't really know that which one people would like, a specific one or a generic one, but everybody is in the generic one, so do check that one out. So it's gonna be me tomorrow. Hopefully Christopher's gonna feel better, and we can have a good night's sleep tonight. I'm gonna be doing charm bracelets tomorrow, and we're gonna be using this really lovely little crystal beads. It comes in, we're doing a mixture of them, so in the mix you're gonna get stars, hearts, butterflies, snowflakes, and there is one more shape in there which I stars, hearts, butterflies, snowflakes. There's one more shape in there. Flower, there's a flower shape in there. That's it. So we're gonna make like little charm bracelets with them tomorrow. They're gonna look really great as well. Very different. So we're going to be turning loops and attaching our loops to our bracelets, but really the crystals looks just really, really nice. So thank you very much for watching me. Thank you very much for following us. We really do appreciate it, me and Sarah both. I'm going to be back tomorrow, and actually I'm back on Wednesday and Thursday as well, and Sarah's going to be with you Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I can have the weekend off. Yippee, the first weekend off in, I don't know, months, I guess. But we will try to do something with the children and relax. So have a good day, everybody. Stay safe, keep on beading, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.